Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope we're all doing very, very well. Big up to everyone. I hope you're enjoying your Monday. Welcome back to another lunch show. I am in Greece still, so got here yesterday afternoon, and this is my first full day in Greece. I forgot my charger as well. That in. And I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Plug that in like so. Okay. There you go. It's been fun. It's been fun. It's been a little bit eventful, but yeah, good holiday so far. We're going to be running through all of the latest Chelsea news, guys, everything regarding the club in terms of the transfers, the links, the rumours, the outgoings, and the incomings as well. We do have a new signing that we can announce. It's not like it's not one that will really surprise you, but we do know that Mamadou Sarr from the League One side Strasbourg is now officially a Chelsea player. That deal has been completed. He is signing a contract. God, it's a 7-8 year contract until 2033. So, yeah, he's going to be at the club for a long time. Another player on a long contract. Just share my screen with you now. There we can see the tweet from Chelsea Dodgers. You know, we've had a lot of conversations about the defensive situation at Chelsea, but maybe this is one of the players who can help solve that. I'd be lying to you if I said I watch him every single week with... with Strasbourg, because I'd be lying to you. But look, he looks like a good player from what I've seen, and I have seen bits and bobs. Ultimately, another prodigy, another talent. We need to see if he can fulfill that talent. So if anyone's been watching him regularly, let me know in the chat as well. Big up to you, my friend. I am dead. I hope you're doing well. Ayusif, good to see you, mate. Yeah, holiday's going well. Yep, hopefully we can get the here we goes for Maignan and Gittens. We'll see what happens. Big up to Piggy. Hope you're doing well, Piggy. Good to see you in the building. Good to see Tom. Yeah, Greece is good. Very warm, very hot. I have been just outside reading, to be honest. I'm not a big reader, but I've been reading. So I'm reading a book. Funny enough, like a bit random, I'm reading a book about basically like the history of the ownership at Man United and how the Glazers basically got in and what they did and all that sort of stuff. So it's not really like football. It's not a book about football. It's more about how, like, the politics around it. So I'm reading that at the moment. It's actually a really good book. I don't have it at the moment, but I'll show you on another stream. 8-year contract then. Fair enough. Personal terms have been agreed with. Getting 7-year deal reportedly. We'll look into that. Big up to Neil. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Bula V-Man as well. Hope you're doing well, guys. Good to see you in the building as always. Listen, this is one of the many things that have happened, and there's always conversation, isn't there? So it's hard to keep up with everything that you read. But I mean, we've had a conversation about a number of players. Sarr hasn't really been in the conversation, so I just thought give him a shout out at the beginning. Give the man some love. Welcome to Chelsea, all the rest of it. Smash the like button as well, guys. Let's get straight up to 40 likes on the video. We've got just over 40 of you on here now. We need to speak about Mike Maignan when we spoke about him last night. This is where it gets tense because originally the deal was supposed to end in what was it? On Monday, which is today. But it's been extended ever so slightly until Tuesday. So we could potentially hear more about this evening with a final decision to be made on Tuesday. But I mean, it's hard to keep up with it all, guys. It's really, really difficult. I think that there's always a chance that this deal can happen. And I did a video about this as well yesterday, and I think it got mixed reaction. I don't understand why people didn't understand what I was saying, which is that, I think you have to appreciate the negotiating that we are doing. This is just a smart way to negotiate. You're either going to get the deal you want or not. And then if you wanted to, you could still pay the money, right? So you might as well have a go. You might as well have a crack, see if you can get a good deal for the player, and see what happens there. The other side is obviously if we don't sign the player, then, you know, how should we react to that? I'm a big fan of Petrovic. So it doesn't bother me that much if we don't get Maignan. It really doesn't bother me. If we get Maignan in, we'll probably end up selling Petrovic, which I would be upset about because he's a young keeper who I think is already showing his potential. There's so many people that we talk about, you know, with regards to what they can do, and never fulfill it. And I think that Petrovic is one of those players who, honestly, over the past couple of years has done nothing but improve. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that. Oh, I've got some breaking news as well for you guys. We'll just come into this as well. This is according to Gaston Dul, which is is that Spanish? Is that Spanish source? Argentinian source, right? From the Premier League, both Chelsea and Arsenal are interested in Alejandro Garnacho. But again, we've heard this many times, but that literally got posted a minute ago. So remains to be seen what will happen with that deal. Me personally, I'm not a fan of Garnacho. You know that there's certain deals that you go, oh, okay, you know what, I'm not too bothered. Like it might not be the best deal in the world. It's not a terrible deal. It's not what I really want, but it's like, ugh. And then there's the other side, which is I think this is a horrendous deal. I don't know how people can look at the Garnacho deal and think that that helps benefit Chelsea. I really don't get it. He has an attitude problem. His stats haven't really improved this season. I just don't get it. But we're not going to pay, 60 mil for Gittens, are we? We're not going to pay 60 mil for him. We'll probably end up paying about 40, maybe 30 odd with add-ons going up to 40 or something like that, which isn't the best deal in the world, but it's not the worst deal in the world. Like I've seen worse. So yeah, in terms of Garnacho, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. They rejected 40 million. I thought it was less than 40 million. The deal that was rejected. Yeah, I thought we offered less than 40 million. Or are we looking at euros? So one of our bids was 29 million pounds. So as far as I'm aware, they're demanding 42 million pounds, and we've offered 29 million. That was 2 days ago. No updates since then. So no, we haven't made an offer of 40 million. That's not true. We have not made an offer of 40 million. It's interesting as well because you say it's underwhelming, and then I would argue that it's underwhelming in terms of some of the players, but in terms of the business we've got done, there's a lot of thumbs up in there from my side. Asugo's a big thumbs up. Santos is a big thumbs up. Sarr, don't really know what to say. Haven't watched him enough, so it's difficult. Delap's a thumbs up from me. So no players that are coming in am I going, bloody hell, why are we signing these guys? I don't feel that way. It's really not like that. Right, let's see what else we've got out there. So TBR Football, Graham Bailey, he's come out with a couple of things on Mike Maignan. He said, I am told by sources with knowledge of the situation at Chelsea that they hope and believe that Maignan and Gittens will be part of their Club World Cup squad, adding to the Delap's arrival. So that's according to TBR. Yeah, it says on here that we're keen to conduct our business early, and obviously talking about the goalkeeper as well. Despite being 29 years old, Chelsea believe that Maignan has at least another 5 years of top-level football ahead of him. If not more, his age has not been seen as an issue. By the way, guys, when we say 29, he turns 30 the beginning of next month. So basically 30 years old, if we're being totally honest. And according to TBR, we expect to sign Maignan in time for the Club World Cup. Graham Bailey understands that whilst the fee is yet to be agreed between the two clubs, an agreement is expected to be found close to the £20 million mark. Maignan currently has 12 months left on his deal, and Chelsea have offered less than £15 million for the goalkeeper, given his contract situation. However, it's understood that Milan do want 20 million for their captain, who has amassed 163 appearances for the club. Maignan is understood to have agreed personal terms with Chelsea earlier this week, and the French star has made it clear he wants to leave for London, a wish that is set to be granted. Again, this is all according to Graham Bailey. Providing more insight, Bailey explained, I am told by sources with knowledge of the situation at Chelsea that they hope and believe that Maignan and Gittens will be a part of their Club World Cup squad, adding to Delap's arrival. It may only be the start of June, but I am told that Maresca is hugely excited by what Chelsea have already done. Add to the fact that Estevao and Andre Santos are coming in. Chelsea's squad is already looking a bit different ahead of pre-season, and Chelsea are not finished. At least one new defender, potentially two, will be coming in. It also goes on to say that Chelsea are ready to sell Robert Sanchez. Maresca previously made it clear to Chelsea that he was not convinced by the club's current goalkeeping options. And as a result, Chelsea have told their current number one, Robert Sanchez, that he can leave. Chelsea signed Sanchez from Brighton in 2023, a keeper who has struggled to find any kind of consistency at Stamford Bridge. In addition to Sanchez, Philip Jorgensen has failed to impress since his own move to Stamford Bridge from Villarreal. The club don't see Petrovic or Mike Penders being able to take over the new number one jersey anytime soon, stressing their need to bring in a new recruit. And by the time the Club World Cup starts, Chelsea do hope to have Maignan in place, ready to start. I have to say, the fact that they're saying the club don't see Petrovic as being able to take over the number one jersey when you've literally had Robert Sanchez in goal. I mean, does that not scream, what are you on about? I don't know what the word is. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying this is how you do your job to all of our directors, but you don't need to have supreme ball knowledge to see that Petrovic is a good goalkeeper. You really don't. And again, I don't criticize the fact that we're looking at Maignan. I don't criticize that. I think Magnan's actually a really, really good player. And I think he would be better than Petrovic, especially short term. But I don't think there's a huge difference. I really don't see a huge difference. If Magnan's here, Petrovic is not far behind. He's not. So if you're going to invest that money elsewhere, i.e. another striker, another centre-back, a better winger, that's not Jamie Gittens, because I'll be honest, I'm not particularly enthused about that signing, but obviously we're going to do it. It's classic Clear Lake. I'd rather the money was spent elsewhere than a goalkeeper, because I do feel really, really confident with Petrovic. I mean, we talk about Maignan being a world-class keeper. I think Petrovic has the potential to be a world-class goalkeeper, and I think he's very close to that potential already, based on how he's progressed over the past 2 years. He's not actually had a bad season. He's not had a bad season. So people still talk about him as if, oh, can he do it here? Can he do it? It's like, when has he not been good enough? He was clearly good enough under Poch, which is why he replaced Sanchez and was much better. People were happy with him. They wanted to keep him. He's been the best goalkeeper in France. So what are we even debating about here? That's I'll never understand that argument. I really, really won't. And if we sell him for 25 million, you can say, yeah, you've made about 10 million pound profit, whatever it is. It's pathetic. It's not even good profit. Then, you know, that's what they want to do, isn't it? I think that you value Petrovic at double what Milan are valuing Mike Maignan, which is about what, 40 million quid. For Petrovic, if Magnan's about 20, I'd say he's worth double because he's young. He's got another 5 years on him. So yeah, that's yeah, there you go. We'll see. They also did another article late last night from Lucas Arnold. This is TBR again, talking about wow, what's the article? It says after Liam Delap and Jamie Gittens, Chelsea should embarrass Man City again with the 35 million pound signing. Yeah, so Delap already on board. Chelsea are lining up a deal to sign another former Man City player, Jamie Gittens. Chelsea have agreed personal terms with Jamie Gittens. Once a fee is agreed, Maresca is hoping to have the Englishman available for the Club World Cup. Delap will be wearing the number 9 at the tournament, and there's a good chance that Jamie Gittens could be there as well. They also talk about James Trafford potentially being linked with Chelsea. Oh, my God. Although, I'm not saying he's a bad keeper, but again, why are we being linked with these guys when I do think we have a perfectly competent goalkeeper? That's just my opinion, but there you go. Okay. We've also had an update from the Mail Online. So it's not true that we had a £40 million bid rejected. That's not true. Dortmund apparently want about 40 to 42 million for Jamie Gittens. We offered 29 million and 500k, so 29.5 mil for Jamie Gittens, and that was rejected. So according to the Daily Mail, Chelsea are set to improve their offer for Dortmund winger Jamie Gittens after their opening £29.5 million bid was rejected. Dortmund wants something in the region of 40 million for the former Man City youth prospect. The Blues are hoping to sign him before Tuesday's deadline to play in the Club World Cup and are prepared to offer a 7-year contract. City hold a 10% sell-on clause for the 20-year-old who left the club's academy in 2020 for Dortmund. Gittens, who also had brief spells at Chelsea and Reading as a youngster, made his senior debut in the Bundesliga days after his 18th birthday. He has racked up 106 appearances since scoring 17 goals. So 17 and 106. Doesn't talk about assists. In his breakout campaign this season, he scored 12 goals and got 3 assists in 48 goals. So 15 GA in 48, which sounds pretty average, doesn't it? But when you're looking at a very young player and you can see some of the qualities, that's what they're looking at. Can he develop into a player that is able to do, whatever he did for those 15 goals, just over a more consistent period? And generally speaking, young players do improve if you get the right ones. So there's no doubt that he can get better, but what's the cap here? Are we predicting we're going to go from 15 GA to 20 to 25 to 30? So it's hard for me to justify how that's a clear upgrade on Jadon Sancho, apart from the fact that you have more potential. I mean, we could have got Sancho for what, 20 mil, 25 million. The wages would have been an issue. That would have been high, which obviously won't be an issue with Jamie Gittens. In terms of a rotation option, I would have never had an issue with Sancho. I think he was, relatively liked. It was just the wages, wasn't it? And that's why Chelsea are going to be willing to pay more money for a player who's not as proven and doesn't really have much better stats, if we're being totally honest. If anything, his stats are worse in Germany than what we saw from Sancho, who's 25, coming on 26. So he's got another 5 years that he can develop and hopefully mold into a better player, and he'll be on a lower wage. That's why Chelsea are willing to pay more money. But listen, we're doing more business than that. It's not just about Jadon Sancho. Obviously, we've spoken about Maignan as well. We offered 12.6 million for him. We're going to have to revisit that if we want to get a deal done with Milan. Seems like, I think honestly, if you give about 17, 18 and you add a few, have a few add-ons, then I think it's a perfectly viable deal. Also, Arsenal finalising the £5 million signing of Kepa. Kepa Arrizabalaga, who we've been trying to get rid of for so long, but nobody wanted to pay for him. And finally, we have a retirement home for the Spaniard in North London, not even that far from Chelsea. So hopefully he performs to the same level as Raheem Sterling, although I say that, he probably won't even get any minutes. He'll end up being on the bench. But if you get a good pay bracket, then I guess it's all worth it. I don't know what the contract details are with Kepa and Arsenal, but we'll see. The Daily Mail also talk about a number of defensive options that we're interested in. Mark Gurhey is one of them. We're also keen on Jarell Hatto of Ajax, who made his senior debut at just 16 years old and became an undisputed starter in the Dutch league last season. He's 19 now, and he has been appointed as one of Ajax's vice captains and was named the Eredivisie Talent of the Year in 24-25 for the season. So actually, if there's one thing I didn't know about Hatto, which I've just learned there, is he's got a few leadership qualities. But there you go. Right, let's go through the chat. Sorry if I've missed anyone in the chat as well. Let's see. No. Well, I would say that Delap is certainly a needle mover for us because we have an established striker now. Because Jackson's not an established striker, but I know what you mean. You're talking about an established player like Osimhen. So in that case, you're right. We haven't got a needle mover. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Andre Santos is a needle mover for me. He is a needle mover. He's a top player. So I would say he is a needle mover, but we need more than that. I will still never know why we didn't chase Cherky. Had the chance 18 months ago. Now watch him ball out. Maybe Pep does to Cherky what he did to Grealish. Who knows? I mean, we'll see. But most likely he'll end up performing very well. Yeah. His distribution from the back was very good. No, I don't. I always took that other game with a pinch of salt. The one where he apparently performed badly. You can never judge a player off of one game. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Honestly, we'll have to see. But it is a bargain in terms of general value. I mean, if he had lots of time on his contract, this is a 40-50 million pound deal potentially for one of the best goalkeepers. So I agree with you there. But they're just penny pinching because you can get him for free next year potentially. And Milan know they're going to lose him for free. So would you rather have some money or no money? And Milan are owned by Americans as well. So the answer is they want money, but they want as much as they can get. So we'll see what happens. You're absolutely right there. Absolutely right. Petrovic is a profit for them. Paid 40 million for him. Now he's worth 30 to 40 million. He was never going to be a first-team player. Such a shame, though, isn't it? Although, again, if Maignan comes in, I'm not complaining, but I am disappointed. I will be disappointed if we sell Petrovic. He's worth so much more than the 25 million that I've heard going around. He seems to be a much, much better player than people give him credit for. We'll see if he's willing to wait. The pregnant Donna B. Are you pregnant? Is that why you resigned? No, I don't think we're after Trafford either. I think that's a load of nonsense. The plan is so obvious. Sell Petrovic and Sanchez, loan Penders as they see him as our number one in 2 to 3 years' time. And Jorgensen will sit on the bench. Fair enough. Even in my toughest of times, yes, Donna, you are so loyal. You haven't got much to eat or drink. Well, I can recommend you a job. I can do that. But that is about the extent of it. I'm afraid there's no positions at Chelsea Fan TV for a former Tottenham employee. Sorry about that, Donna. Oh, you're pregnant with LB? Who's LB? Daniel Levy is... Who's LB? Am I missing something here? Cobham sponsored by Etihad. Yeah, sounds about right. This is the thing. I mean, we might as well just trust Tyreek George, but then again, they're probably going to try and sell him as well. Big up to you, Jordan. Good to have you in the building, mate. All good, brother. All good. Am I going anywhere in Greece? Well, I'm in Corfu at the moment. I'm in Corfu, so I'll be doing a little bit of exploring in Corfu, but it's actually an all-inclusive, so just making do with what we have here. I mean, there's a lot going on. They've got pools, little beach, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. The thing is with Rafael Leao, he wouldn't fit the system. I know a lot of people like him, and they see what he's done for Milan. He's got a lot of quality. I don't dispute that. But the issue with Leao is his work rate. And people want to complain about Madueke. They want to complain about these other players. Leao he's no better than any of them. He's probably a lot worse based on what I've seen and from what I've heard about him. And I have watched Leao play a number of times. No matter what happens, no matter what the manager tries to do, nothing ever changes. He's not a workhorse. So I don't see him as the solution, to be honest with you. I would have been much more happy with a player like Cherki, who we could have got very cheap. But it's not going to happen. So that's unfortunate. Now, we also know from L'Equipe as well, just going back on the goalkeeping situation, that Mike Maignan is determined to join Chelsea, even though Allegri is trying to convince him to stay. He intends to join the London club. He has made it clear to his management that he will see out his contract if he doesn't leave this summer. So, listen, maybe that is going to be the key factor here, because if he was happy to play regardless, then it wouldn't really matter too much for this season. You'd still have a player who can perform to a top level, and you could go from there. But he doesn't want to be there. If he doesn't want to be there, don't force the man to stay. His head is elsewhere. So in the not just in terms of the benefits of Chelsea, but from a Milan perspective, why do you want to keep a player who doesn't want to stay with you? That's the God honest truth, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see what happens. The Athletic as well, they have posted a little something about Mamadou Sarr. They said Chelsea rate Sarr highly and always wanted him to join up with the squad as soon as possible. He will be part of the senior group that is going to the USA to play at the FIFA Club World Cup. So that's according to Simon Johnson and Colin Miller of the Athletics. His contract expires in 2033. It was a signing of £11.9 million, which is 14 million euros. And yeah, obviously because we own Strasbourg, that's why it was so easy to do that deal. He's on an 8-year contract at Chelsea after making 28 first-team appearances over the course of the season with Strasbourg, who are now in the Conference League. He spent 6 years in the Lens Youth Academy before spending 6 seasons at Lyon and spending the 22-23 campaign on loan at the Belgium side, Daring Brussels, formerly RWD Molenbeek. Never heard of that side, to be honest with you. So the idea is to get him into the squad as soon as possible so we can get to know Enzo Maresca's methods and his new teammates as well. He is still relatively inexperienced, so he's not going to be considered as a starting centre-back as of yet, but he has time to develop to English football. But after considering loaning him back to Strasbourg at one point, Chelsea now want to keep him involved with their squad. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more games with Champions League football back in the fold. We'll have at least another 2 minimum, because in the Conference League, you only have 6 games in the group stages. That goes up to 8 in the league phase of the Champions League. So automatically, you've got an extra 2 games. We're going to have to rotate. So there's a good chance it will have minutes because of that. We know Maresca's quite a keen rotation manager as well. So, yeah, big up to him. Welcome to Chelsea, and we'll see how he does. But not a player that I expect to come in and make an instant impact. He's so young. Just get him used to the culture, get him used to the way we want to play as well, and see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I still haven't answered your question why no other Premier League team tried to buy Victor Osimhen. Cost. It's just got to be the financial side. I mean, that's the only obstacle here. That there's no, it's not a personality problem. I'm sure people would love to have Osimhen's personality in the dressing room. He's clearly a winner. He's a player he sets a high standard for himself. He's able to compete at the highest level and score many, many goals, but he's inconsistent. In terms of, sorry, not he's inconsistent. His wages they're just ridiculous. So I don't deny that. No, not me. But yeah, I don't deny that a lot of Premier League clubs don't want him, but they're just not going to pay the money. The one that surprises me is Victor Gyökeres. Why is nobody spoken with Gyökeres? That's what I don't get. Because that's a player who's affordable as well. You can get him on a cheaper release clause and a cheaper wage. So I mean, we've cleared out a lot of players, but there's just more that needs to be done. That's the reality, that we need to do more. And yeah, we will get rid of Sterling, whether that's a loan or something. Chilwell will probably go on a permanent deal, and Kunku will go on a permanent. And I think that, if I'm not wrong, I read that João Felix is available for about £21 million. Let me see if I can find that as well. And if that is the case, I think that's a doable deal. But I'm surprised that maybe I read something wrong. Let me see. Yeah, who knows? All we know is that there'll probably be another bid for Maignan. There will be another bid for Jamie Gittens as well. We want to try and get both of those deals done before the Club World Cup. So that's the aim here. Try and get those deals done before the Club World Cup. Fabrizio Romano said, get ready. A new bid for Jamie Gittens is incoming. Chelsea want to be fast. I will get you the details soon, but it will include add-ons to try and strike an agreement. Chelsea held talks today with Dortmund. Joe Shields, again, is doing a special job in this with a mark of ex-City Academy on Chelsea's team. We also know that there's nothing particularly concrete for Hugo Ekitike as it stands. We gave him a call a couple of days ago. That's according to Fabrizio. That's all we know. Just to know what the price was, it was just 100 million euros. Far too much, in my opinion. He's not worth 100 million. I mean, the thing is that clubs feel okay putting these prices up because they know that a lot of these English clubs with money are desperate. We need the players. We need the signings. We rely so heavily on Champions League football now just to break even a lot of these teams and not lose money that we end up really getting our pants pulled down at times. And I do think that this is a deal that, look, I would be happy with Ekitike coming to the side. I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't, but out of all the players that we've signed for close to that amount, it's got to be the most unproven. I mean, who have we signed around that amount? We've signed obviously Fernandez, Caicedo, both more proven in my opinion than Ekitike, in their respective positions. Mudryk was quite a lot, probably less proven than Ekitike though. Who else was in that vicinity? Yeah, I think that's probably the main one, isn't it? Am I missing someone? Cucurella was proven in his position. Yeah. So I don't think that the Ekitike deal happens for 100 million euros. I just don't see the logic in spending that money on a player who's quite unproven. If you're going to spend that money, spend it on a ready-made player. Spend it on an Osimhen. A Gyökeres. Doesn't have to be Osimhen. It could be Gyökeres, and we'd still be chuffed. So that there are definitely options out there, but it remains to be seen whether Chelsea will explore those options or not. Now, here's an interesting one for you. Not the kind of news that we thought would be going through, but it's there. Now, Man City, their goalkeeper, not even their second goalkeeper, their third choice goalkeeper has been Scott Carson, who has been there for 6 years. I don't know if he's actually won any medals. I think he might have won a medal, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, he's basically in the squad for vibes. You know those players that you keep in the squad because they're great in the dressing room. They bring up the atmosphere. They help the environment. That's one of the reasons we brought in the rugby player, to help the environment. And that's what Scott Carlson does at Man City. But he's leaving. His contract's going to be expired. And Bettinelli, who, well, he's not even our third choice goalkeeper. He's like our 10th. We've got so many. Bettinelli has been targeted, according to the Telegraph, as the right profile to support a goalkeeper stable led by Edison, with hopes of a deal before the transfer window closes on Tuesday for the Club World Cup teams to sign players for the tournament. And it says that they're ready to make a move for Chelsea's third choice goalkeeper, Marcus Bettinelli. Now, I think he's played maybe 2 or 3 games since he's come to the club. And I don't think that includes preseason, because he must have played a little bit in preseason. But in terms of cup games, he must have played 1 or 2 under Tuchel. I don't even think he would have played under Maresca, because we would have just rotated Sanchez and Jorgensen. Do I like this deal? No, I don't like this deal. I think it's very smart for Man City. If they are looking at Bettinelli, then you have to say, why is a top team like Man City looking at a player like Bettinelli and trying to pinch him from Chelsea? He's got to be worth something. There has to be some value there. They haven't seen him play much, so they must have heard something and they must know about his character. For me, this is a deal you just turn down. I mean, no matter what they offer, it's not going to be a lot of money. He's an older goalkeeper who doesn't play. Again, he's not in the squad to play every week. He's in the squad for the environment that he helps create. He's one of the leaders in the dressing room. I'm sure he's very popular in the dressing room as well. Well, we know he is. I don't see how this benefits Chelsea, letting Marcus Bettinelli go to Man City. There's no world where I look at this deal and think, oh, this is going to help us. How does this give us any sort of... How does this help us progress in any way? Except for the fact that you would argue we have another wage off the books. But I don't think that Robert Sanchez... Well, we know that Robert Sanchez and Jorgensen won't give you what Bettinelli does. They're in different stages of their career. He knows that he's not going to play every week. And he's happy at Chelsea. He's happy at Chelsea. And I don't see why that should change. Homegrown quota? Maybe. I reckon he is a leader as well. I agree with you, mate. And I'm absolutely with you on that. We need to keep him. I don't see why you get rid of him. Yeah. He must have played 1 or 2 games for us. Honestly, he must have. You telling me he didn't play a single game? He must have played a cup game for us. How many games has he played for Chelsea? Let's look it up. This season, 0. Yeah, we knew that. But I think in all seasons, he would have definitely... No? Let's have a look. Okay, so he played in our Premier League. That's our youth side. Okay, FA Cup. Played 9 minutes in the FA Cup. So he did play 1 game. And I'm sure I was at that game. Does it have the match or not? Or is it just going to give me the history of the FA Cup? Yeah, classic. Yeah, it's just going to give me the history. Fair enough. So yeah, Bettinelli has played 1 game. And he played in the under-21 Premier League as well. So don't give him too much stick. He has contributed in some way. Who knows? Right, what else have we got for you, people? What else have we got? Yeah, we know that Ekitike is not going to happen before the Club World Cup. So that deal, I think, unless Frankfurt budge on their price, which they don't need to. Like, there's no need for Frankfurt to change their price. Then I think that will just remain the tag. You know, they charge a lot for Man City with Marmoush. It was about, 75 mil. Why should they go down on Ekitike? There is a little bit of tax on this one, because if they hadn't have signed Marmoush, you probably would have been able to get Ekitike on a cheaper deal. But because they've already signed one of their biggest players, I doubt that they want to go and sell another one and then rebuild again, although it's a great profit, which you can't deny. So, yeah, nothing more is going to happen on the Ekitike side. We do also need to speak about 2 players at Chelsea in the midfield. One of them, Andre Santos, we have rejected any interest from other clubs to say that we're going to sell him. He won't be sold. He's going to be a part of Chelsea's project next season. Also, Moises Caicedo, he's almost certainly going to be rewarded with a new contract. He deserves a new contract as well, guys. You've got to look at a player like Moises Caicedo and bow your head down. That's a proper midfielder. And you know, one thing I do like about the way we deal with our contracts is players can get pay rises and extension if they perform. And this is partly due to the fact that we want to just retain them anyway, because if they're being underpaid and undervalued, why would they want to stay at this club when they see what other people are earning at other football clubs? But on top of that, obviously, we're in control. If we did want to sell the player, if they have X amount of years left on their contract, we are in control. The only downside, as we know, is that if it doesn't work out, then you're still obligated to pay the player, and you can't get out of it. So you're just there paying the salary. But I think this is one of the reasons why. Well, I know this is one of the reasons why we have our wage caps, because you never know what's going to happen with any player. So you need to be ready for all options. So if that's the case that, okay, we'll get him on 100 grand a week, you know that most Premier League clubs can afford to pay a player, a decent player, 100 grand a week. Like they just can. It wasn't always the case, but these days you got everyone paying that money. I'm sure when Wilfried Zaha was at Crystal Palace, he was on over 200 grand. So clubs are willing to pay big money if they think the players are right, even mid-table teams. Ultimately, it's just about the value of the player to the club, and then you move from there. I mean, we'll see what they do. I mean, 200k with Champions League football, I don't think anyone can disagree with that. I think that's fair. I mean, Palmer's going to be on what? 160k, 165 with his pay rise. Caicedo's already on a higher wage than Palmer. Caicedo's on about 150 anyway. So, yeah, I mean, he'll be close to 200. So his new pay bracket, it should be a little incremental pay rise, definitely. I don't think there's any disagreements. If his normal wage is 150, then put him on 170 and then give him over 200 grand with Champions League football. I think that's a very fair deal. As for Andre Santos, we haven't seen him play in a Chelsea shirt recently, so we'll just have to wait and see what he does, but I'm sure he'll be a part of Chelsea's squad next season. I'm looking forward to seeing what Andre Santos can do. Listen, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll be honest, I don't really have much else to talk about. There's not an awful lot of updates for you in that sense. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. But listen, big up to everyone. Appreciate your time. And I'll be back this evening with another show. Looking forward to jumping on again, guys. All the best, and we will catch up very, very soon.